After living in Springboro for over 20 years now, I've grown to love living here. However, there are a few things you might dislike about Springboro. So I wanted to share what I hate and what I love about living here. So if you're considering moving here, this will be a brutally honest look at living in Springboro. First, I hate how everything closes early. Remember that commercial when we were kids that came on and said,
"It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?"
Springboro is still taking that commercial pretty seriously. The town turns into a ghost town at 10 o'clock every night. You can set your watch to it. But even though they close earlier, if you are a foodie, there are still some local gems. Elsa's for great Mexican, and China Cottage has the best Chinese. I also hate the morning rush. If you're driving to Dayton for work during peak hours, State Route 48 and 75 can get backed up. During school drop-off and pickup times, traffic around the city's schools can be significantly heavy. While having all of our schools but one in the same half-mile stretch for picking up kids at different schools is great. But in the mornings, it's a nightmare. It's nothing like living in a major city, and it doesn't compare with the bigger city jam. But I would really have to say my favorite thing about Springboro is the location. People who live here will tell you that it feels like you live in the country, but everything you need is 10 minutes from your house. Schools, grocery stores, shopping, restaurants, you name it, we got it. And if you want the amenities from a big city, but don't necessarily want to live in a big city, that's no problem. You can be in Dayton, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Louisville, Lexington, all within 2 hours from Springboro. And I can't think of any place else that has that many options. So it's hard to say there's nothing to do when you have so much to choose from and you literally are living in the middle of everything. I love being close to just about any professional sports I want to see. If you like sports, you've got options. And Cincinnati has the Bengals, Reds, and even a professional soccer team, FC Cincinnati. I'm going to see them for the first time this weekend. We go to Cincinnati all the time for dinner, to shop, occasional baseball games. The Dayton Dragons are even closer if you enjoy baseball games. The slower pace of life in Springboro is definitely something you need to get used to. I love that we are seeing more and more of the perks and amenities that you wouldn't expect to find outside of the bigger, busier cities. In fact, Springboro has some very smart plans in the works to bring modern amenities most of us have only seen in bigger cities. Next week, I'm going to tell you all about the innovative project that won Springboro a spot in the Global Smart 50 Awards. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Okay, let's talk about why I love and hate the weather here. Yesterday, I wore shorts. Today, I'm wearing a sweater. But hold on, because shorts are coming back out tomorrow. And such is life in Ohio. And it gets cold. If you've never lived in the Midwest, you'll have to get used to the cold winters where it dips into the teens and even lower sometimes. Not as bad as some northern states, but it does get icy here too. There's 20 to 25 inches of snow on average, and occasionally some freezing rain. You'll want to have a good heating system, proper insulation in your homes, and snow removal equipment. Although it does get pretty cold, it's more mild than other parts of the country. And the summers here can get hot and humid. It's definitely not as extreme as many other cities in the South, but it's often in the 80s and 90s and occasionally over 100. Although winter does get cold, that means you get to enjoy snow for the holidays. Christmas in Springboro in the winter, hanging out on Heather's Cafe's patio, catching up with friends you haven't seen in a while. We love to go boating. Caesars Creek is less than 15 minutes from our house. Wherever you live in the area, there's usually some body of water to put your boat on, including the Ohio River. The summer is perfect for boating on the lakes, hiking, or hanging by a pool. Evenings are usually perfect for eating dinner outside or going to an outdoor concert. We have free concerts at the North Park in the summer that are a blast. And the spring and fall are beautiful here, because in the spring, all the flowers come back to life. And in the fall, the gorgeous colors make going to all the fall festivals that more festive. You actually get 4 seasons. I don't love the higher cost of living in Springboro. In my opinion, it makes our town less diverse. The cost of living index in Springboro is 103.5, higher than the national average of 100 and about 20 points higher than most of Ohio. Much of this is driven by housing costs, where the median home price is around $370,000 to $380,000, above the state's median. But despite that, the majority of people who live here own their own home because it's more affordable than other places in the country. Property taxes in Springboro are considerably less than most of the surrounding areas compared to cities like Centerville. Springboro's taxes are about half of what you would pay for the same house. However, higher cost of living is generally a good thing if you consider schools, career and business opportunities, desirability, and other city factors. Places with higher costs of living are generally where more people want to live, so appreciation is better for homeowners than other less desirable places. And I do think what makes Springboro such a great place to live are the people. Some of our closest friends are from Springboro, and I just think there's something special about doing life with people in your community. Springboro is small enough to make those special connections, no matter what season of life you're in, but not so small that everyone's into business. You know what I mean? So that's why I love living in Springboro and why I've been living here for 20 plus years. So if you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the Dayton area and surrounding suburbs, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. You can reach me at carriedawayrealestate@gmail.com. But before you leave, if you love this video, you'll want to check out my video about the best suburbs in Dayton. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and see you at the next one.